I accidentally picked the perfect time to switch. Not because of some sale or discount, but because Apple finally fixed the one thing that kept me away for years. The base models are actually good now. And if you have been hesitant about Apple, this video is for you. So what kept me away? Alright, let's be real about why I avoided Apple for so long. Now, the base models were traps. Having an iPhone with 64GB of storage would equal frustration. And don't bother coming at me with the iCloud BS. Then imagine a MacBook with 8GB of RAM. My Chrome tabs alone would kill it. Every time I looked at Apple, I'd spec out what I actually needed, and suddenly, that $999 phone became $1,200, and that $1,200 laptop became $1,800. And I think to myself, for that price, I can get a Windows laptop with 32GB of RAM and 1TB of storage. So I stayed away, year after year. But then, I started noticing something in 2025. I got the M4 MacBook Air as my first Mac ever, and let me tell you what shocked me about the base model. 16GB of RAM is standard. The 8GB base was a running joke. Tech YouTubers roasted it, developers refused to recommend it. And now, 16GB is the standard. And I'm editing 4K videos in Final Cut Pro on this thing. Multiple Chrome tabs open, Apple Music, WhatsApp, photo editing, everything I threw at it. Smooth, at least for the most part. And with 256GB of storage. Not amazing, but actually usable. I mean, a lot less anxiety to say the least. The M4 chip is stupid fast. Apps open instantly. Exports that took my old Windows laptop eternity, done in 9 minutes on battery without breaking a sweat. No fan noise. Doesn't turn into a space heater on my lap. And the battery life is insane. 15 to 18 hours of actual work. Not if you stare at a blank document, like work. I forget to charge it overnight and still make it through the next day. And all for what? $900? For context, 3 years ago, a MacBook with these specs would have been $1,200 to $1,500 minimum. Now it's the base model. I bought what I thought was the entry-level compromise. But nah, it's just a great laptop. Now, I eventually upgraded to the M5 MacBook Pro because my video editing workload got heavier. But here's what's wild. I didn't upgrade because the Air was struggling. I upgraded because I noticed some slight thermal throttling when working on some heavy projects. I also wanted the extra screen real estate and the better display, with slightly faster export times for my workflow. But let's talk about the base model MacBook Pro for a second, because even that is incredible value right now. It has 16GB of RAM standard, same as the Air, 512GB of storage, so double the Air, and then ProMotion 120Hz display, buttery smooth, better speakers and mics, starts at around $1,600. Now, $400 more than the Air sounds like a lot, but think about what you're getting. Professional grade display that makes content creation actually enjoyable, double the storage without paying Apple's insane upgrade prices, better thermals for sustained heavy workloads, and that extra horsepower for when you don't need it. If you're a content creator, developer, or someone who knows they'll push their machine, the Base Pro is still an amazing value. You're getting what used to be an over $2,000 machine for $1,600. But here's my point. Both base models are legitimately great now. The M4 Air is a beast for 90% of users, students, professionals, casual creators. And the M5 Pro is perfect for the other 10% who need that extra power, video editors, developers, designers. You're not compromising with either one. You're just choosing based on your actual needs, not because the base model is unusable. Now, both the M4 MacBook Air and the M5 MacBook Pro are incredible. And that tells you everything you need to know about how good Apple's base models have become. But then, I picked up the iPhone 17 base model. Again, I was bracing for compromise. 256GB of storage. Finally, I won't have to delete apps to take photos. I have my entire music library downloaded, 4K video, no problem. A19 chip. This is pro-level performance from 2 years ago. Gaming is smooth. Video editing on the phone works. Not my thing, but it works. AI features are there, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. In fact, forget I said anything about AI. Let's just leave that for now. But the cameras on this thing are insane. I'm talking night mode that actually works, portrait shots that look professional, video quality that can be integrated into my professional shoots. These used to be locked behind the Pro models. And at $799, I'm getting everything I wanted from an iPhone at the entry price. No upsell needed. For the first time ever, I didn't feel like I had to upgrade to get the real iPhone experience. But here's what nobody really told me about switching to Apple. The ecosystem is a real killer feature. AirDrop between my iPhone and MacBook is instant. No cables, no apps, no setup. I copy text on my iPhone and I paste it on the MacBook. It just works. And I can even answer my iPhone calls on my MacBook seamlessly. iMessage, FaceTime, notes, photos, everything syncs without me thinking about it. I spent years with Windows and Android, fighting with Bluetooth, troubleshooting file transfers, using third-party apps to sync things. With Apple, it just works. And I finally understand why people stay in the ecosystem. But here's the thing, I only got to experience this because the base models are finally good enough to justify the switch. If I'd come to Apple 3 or 4 years ago and bought the base models, I would have been frustrated and gone back to Windows. So here's why I'm making this video. If you have been curious about Apple but couldn't justify the cost, 2026 is your moment. The M4 MacBook Air base model, genuinely a great laptop. The iPhone 17 base model, genuinely a great phone. The M5 MacBook Pro, incredible if you need it, but most people don't. You're not getting the cheap version anymore. You're getting legitimately good products that just happen to be at the entry price. So yes, I accidentally switched at the perfect time. The base models finally pack enough value that you're not immediately reaching for upgrades. Are Apple upgrades still expensive? Yes. $200 for 8GB more RAM is highway robbery. Or at least it used to be, considering what's going on in the RAM industry right now. Are there still annoyances? Absolutely. I mean, welcome to the dongle club, everyone. But the barrier to entry has never been lower, and the best experience has never been better. If you have been on the fence, this is your sign. I switched, I don't regret it. And if you are in a similar position, Windows, Android user, tired of fighting with your tech, you won't regret it either. Alright guys, that's it. If this helped, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more tech reviews. Also, let me know in the comments if you're making the switch. Thank you for your time. Till we see you again. Bye-bye.
I get the Green Bay J love and split it with my day one. Stay away from all you old call him May Young, and that's not for the woman. Half these dudes act like just see me flipping with the digits. Now they turn into a gymnast. It's not how you thought it would go, is it? Jalen with the pivot, how they get lost in the rhythm. Y'all was shooting on the way that I'm living, but I forgive them. Seek revenge with how I'm killing. Hey, bounce with me if you made it back from out the shadow.